You're about to see 7 AI scams that are fooling thousands of Americans right now, and I mean right now, not 5 years from now. Fake voices, fake faces, fake job offers, fake everything. Built by artificial intelligence that's gotten good enough to fool people who consider themselves impossible to fool. Before we get into it, if you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because these scams change every single month and I break down a new one the moment it starts trending. You genuinely do not want to miss the next one. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how these 7 scams work, and I'll give you 5 simple habits that protect you from almost all of them at once, even the ones that haven't been invented yet. I promise you, at least one of these has already tried to reach you. You just might not have noticed. Let's start with number 7. At number 7, the flawless phishing email. The scam that used to be easy to catch and now completely isn't. You probably learned the old rules years ago. Bad grammar, broken English, a weird logo, a sender address that looks slightly off. Those were the tells, and for a long time, they worked. Not anymore. Artificial intelligence now writes these emails and texts from scratch, and it writes them perfectly. Correct grammar, natural tone, personal details pulled from your social media, your public profiles, even things you posted years ago and forgot about. The message might reference your actual employer, your actual city, even a real coworker's name because the AI scraped that information in seconds before writing to you. Here's what makes this genuinely different from the phishing emails of the past. These messages get click-through rates dramatically higher than the old, clumsy versions. Specifically because the one red flag most people were trained to look for, the mistakes, simply isn't there anymore. The email looks like it was written by a real person at a real company, because in a sense, it was. It just wasn't a person you can trust. The tell now isn't the writing quality. It's the request itself. Any message asking you to click a link, verify your account, or act urgently, regardless of how polished it sounds, deserves the exact same suspicion it always did. Grammar stopped being a reliable signal. Urgency and unexpected links still are. There's a second layer to this that makes it even harder to catch. These emails now increasingly come from real, previously legitimate accounts that were compromised somewhere else first, which means the sender's actual email address checks out, the domain checks out, and even the writing style can be trained to sound like someone you already know. Security researchers tracking this shift have found the vast majority of phishing emails circulating today contains some degree of AI generation, a number that's climbed dramatically in just the last couple of years. The practical fix doesn't require you to become a cybersecurity expert. It just requires a habit shift. Stop scanning for typos and start scanning for the ask. Does this message want you to click something, log in somewhere, or send information quickly? If yes, go directly to the source yourself instead of using anything in the message. You're not going to see this next one coming because it doesn't come through your inbox at all. It comes through a video call with someone you already trust. Number 6. The deepfake video call. This is the one that proves seeing someone's face on a screen doesn't mean what it used to. It starts with what looks like a completely normal video meeting. Maybe it's framed as an urgent request from a supervisor, a business partner, or someone in a position of authority. The face on the screen looks right. The voice sounds right. Other people even appear to be on the call too, nodding along, adding small comments here and there to make the whole thing feel routine. Then comes the ask, usually financial. A wire transfer that needs to happen immediately. A payment that can't wait. Login credentials that need to be shared right now because of some time-sensitive issue. Because you can see and hear the person making the request, your guard drops in a way it never would over email alone. Real-world cases have already resulted in losses in the tens of millions of dollars, with entire video calls, every single face on the screen, generated in real time by AI, built from nothing more than publicly available footage of the people being impersonated. Interviews, webinars, old video calls, anything with enough audio and video to train the model. The defense here isn't about spotting a glitch in the video, because the technology is often good enough that there isn't one to spot. The defense is process. Any urgent request for money or sensitive information, even one that comes through a video call where you can clearly see and hear the person, needs to be verified through a separate channel you already trust, a phone call to a number you already have, not one given to you during the call itself. This isn't limited to boardrooms and corporate wire transfers either. A smaller, everyday version of this same scam shows up as a simple text message, supposedly from a boss, a landlord or someone in a position of trust asking you to quickly grab gift cards for an emergency and send over the codes. It's the exact same psychology, just without the video call. The authority figure, the urgency, and the unusual payment request are always the pattern, whether it's a fake video meeting or a two-line text. I'm sure you've already seen this next one because it's been showing up in your social media feed disguised as an ad for a small business. At number 5, the AI-generated fake shop. This one specifically targets you while you're scrolling, half paying attention, guard completely down. An ad appears featuring a cozy small business with a heartwarming backstory. A mother-daughter jewelry shop, a family-run boutique. The photos show smiling owners, a charming storefront, products that look genuinely appealing at a price that feels like a steal. It looks exactly like the kind of small business people love to support. None of it is real. The owners in the photos don't exist. The storefront doesn't exist. The heartwarming backstory was generated in seconds. Behind the ad is a drop shipping operation, often overseas, sending out cheap knockoff products that look nothing like what was pictured, or in plenty of cases, sending nothing at all. Investigations into this exact pattern have already identified dozens of victims from a single wave of these ads, with the fake storefronts disappearing and reappearing under new names as fast as platforms can shut them down. The unsettling part is how good the images have gotten. What used to look slightly off, overly smooth skin, strange hands, unnatural lighting, is increasingly difficult for the average person to catch at a glance, especially when you're scrolling quickly and the ad only has your attention for a second or two. The habit that beats this one every time. Before buying from any ad you've never seen before, search the business name plus the word reviews or scam in a separate tab. If the business only exists inside the ad itself, that's your answer. It's also worth remembering that these operations move fast on purpose. The moment a platform catches on and removes one of these fake storefronts, the same operation often relaunches within days under a slightly different name, a new set of AI-generated owner photos, and a fresh batch of ads. That's part of why this particular scam is so hard to stamp out entirely. It's less like catching one bad actor, and more like playing an endless game of whack-a-mole with a machine that can generate a brand new disguise in minutes. You won't believe how convincing the next one is, because it doesn't just fake a stranger. It fakes someone you've actually looked up to. Number 4. The Deepfake celebrity investment scams. This one weaponizes trust in a way that's uniquely effective because it borrows a face you already believe. A video surfaces online showing a well-known public figure, an investor, a celebrity, someone with a reputation for financial success, personally endorsing a new investment platform or cryptocurrency opportunity. The voice matches. The mannerisms match. The video might even appear inside what looks like a legitimate news article or a familiar-looking financial website. At the bottom, a simple link invites you to get started with a small initial deposit. None of it is real. The endorsement was never given. The voice was cloned. The likeness was generated. Regulators in multiple countries have issued formal warnings about this exact pattern, and the losses tied to it have already reached tens of millions of dollars in documented cases, with fabricated celebrity endorsements identified as a specific named category of financial fraud. The mechanism behind the actual money loss is simple once you see it laid out. You deposit a small amount to start. The platform shows fake returns growing in real time, tempting you to deposit more. When you eventually try to withdraw your money, you're hit with a fee or a tax you have to pay first to unlock the funds. That fee is the actual scam. The platform and the money you already put in was never real to begin with. No legitimate celebrity or financial expert personally endorses individual investment platforms through a video ad on social media. If you see one, the endorsement is fabricated, full stop, regardless of how convincing the video looks. What makes this one particularly effective is how it's often dressed up in supporting evidence designed to survive a quick, skeptical glance. The fake video might be embedded inside what looks like a real news article, complete with a familiar news logo and formatting. There might be fabricated comments underneath praising the returns. Every layer exists for one reason. To survive the 30 seconds of scrutiny, most people give something before deciding whether to trust it. This next one takes weeks, sometimes months to fully play out, and by the time it does, the emotional damage is often just as bad as the financial loss. At number 3, the AI romance online scam. This is the one that causes the deepest damage, because it's never really about the money until it suddenly is. It usually starts small. A message from someone new on a dating app, a wrong number text that turns into a conversation, or a friendly connection on social media. There's no immediate ask for anything. Instead, the relationship builds slowly, over weeks or sometimes months, through messages, photos, even AI-generated voice notes and video calls that feel remarkably real. Behind the scenes, a single scammer, often working as part of a larger operation, can now maintain thousands of these relationships simultaneously, with AI handling much of the writing, adjusting tone and personality based on how each victim responds. Research from consumer advocacy groups has found that roughly 1 in 10 adults over 50 have had an online romantic connection, eventually ask them for money or push them toward a cryptocurrency investment. Once real trust is established, the pivot happens. The new partner mentions an investment opportunity, sometimes directly, sometimes framed as caring advice meant to help you. A trading platform gets introduced. Screenshots show impressive, growing returns. And just like the celebrity investment scam, when it's time to withdraw, a fee or tax suddenly appears and the funds never actually come out. The single most reliable rule here: if your introduction to any investment opportunity came through a romantic connection or friendship that started in your messages, treat it as a scam until proven otherwise, no matter how real the relationship feels. A real romantic partner will never need your money to prove they exist. It's worth saying plainly because this scam causes more than financial damage. The emotional bond that gets built over weeks or months is often the real weapon, and victims frequently describe the loss of that relationship as more painful than the money itself, especially once they realize the person they trusted never existed at all. If a video call, a voice message, and months of consistent conversation all felt real, that's not a sign you were careless. It's a sign the technology has genuinely caught up to human trust. I'm sure you or someone you know has come dangerously close to this next one, especially if you've been job hunting recently. Number 2. The AI fake job offer. This one has exploded specifically because remote hiring has become so normal that nobody questions it anymore. A message arrives, often on a job platform or through social media, from a recruiter with a polished profile, a complete work history, and a professional headshot. The role sounds like exactly what you've been looking for, and it pays surprisingly well for the experience required. The interview, if there's one at all, happens entirely through text chat or a quick video call, and you're hired almost immediately. Then comes the catch. You're told you need equipment to start, and you're asked to pay a processing fee to receive it, or to buy the equipment yourself and get reimbursed on your first paycheck. Sometimes a legitimate-looking check arrives to cover the cost, and just like older versions of this scam, that check bounces days after you've already spent the money. What's changed is the scale and the polish. Fraud reports tied to job and business opportunity scams have climbed into the hundreds of millions of dollars in losses, and a meaningful share of these now start on social media rather than traditional job boards. AI-generated profiles, fabricated employment histories, and even deepfake video interviews have made it dramatically harder to separate a real opportunity from a fake one just by looking at it. The rule that cuts through almost all of it: no legitimate employer will ever ask a new hire to pay them money before the job starts. Not for equipment, not for training, not for anything. If that ask shows up, the job was never real. There's another version of this worth knowing about too. Some of these listings aren't fishing for a processing fee at all, they're fishing for your personal information. A job application that asks for your social security number, your bank details, or a copy of your ID before you've even had a real interview is collecting identity theft material, not hiring paperwork. Real employers ask for that information after an offer, not before one. And now, the one I've saved for last because I genuinely believe it's the scariest scam on this entire list, and the one most likely to catch you completely off guard. Taking the number 1 spot, the AI voice clone emergency call, because this is the scam specifically engineered to bypass logic entirely and go straight for panic. Your phone rings. The voice on the other end sounds exactly like your child, your grandchild, or another close family member. Crying, frightened, saying they've been in an accident, arrested, or worse. Sometimes another voice cuts in claiming to be a police officer or a kidnapper, demanding immediate payment to resolve the situation before anything gets worse. Here's what makes this technically possible now. Modern AI tools can clone a person's voice using just a few seconds of real audio, often pulled directly from social media videos, voicemail greetings, or old video calls that were posted publicly years ago and never taken down. The scammer doesn't need to talk to your family member at all. They just need a few seconds of them talking, publicly, anywhere online. Federal law enforcement has issued direct warnings about this exact scam as it spread across the country, with victims describing calls so realistic they had no reason to doubt what they were hearing. One widely reported case involved a mother receiving a call from a voice she was certain was her daughter's, informing her she'd been kidnapped with a demand for thousands of dollars to secure her release. It was never real. Her daughter was never in danger. The single defense that works against this every time, no exceptions, agree on a family safe word now, today, before you ever need it. A short phrase or word that only your real family would know, one that's never been posted anywhere online. If a call like this ever comes in, calmly ask for the safe word. If it doesn't come, or the caller stalls, hang up and call your family member directly using a number you already have saved. Real emergencies survive a callback. Scams don't. This scam earns the #1 spot for one simple reason. It's not designed to fool your judgment. It's designed to bypass it entirely by going straight for panic before you have a chance to think clearly. That's exactly why the safe word matters more than trusting your own ears. Under real fear, in the middle of what sounds like your child crying for help, almost nobody stops to analyze whether a voice sounds slightly synthetic. The safe word gives you one simple, unshakable question to ask, regardless of how convincing or terrifying the call sounds. Here's the good news. You don't need 7 different defenses for 7 different scams. These 5 habits protect you against almost all of them at once. 1. Set a family safe word today, not after something happens. A short phrase only your real family knows, never posted online, is the single strongest defense against voice cloning and video call scams. 2. Verify through a channel you already trust, never one they give you. Whether it's a call, a text, or a video call, hang up or log off and reach out through a number or app you already had saved before the message ever arrived. 3. Treat urgency as a red flag, not a reason to hurry. Every scam on this list depends on you acting before you think. A real emergency, a real job offer, and a real relationship can all survive you taking 10 minutes to slow down and verify. Or, never let money follow a relationship, an endorsement, or a job that started online and moved fast. Romance, investment tips, and job offers that begin as strangers and quickly involve money follow the exact same playbook, no matter how different they feel in the moment. 5. Search before you trust, especially with anything new. A new online shop, a new recruiter, a new investment platform. A 30-second search for the name alongside the word scam catches an enormous number of these before you ever hand over $1. That's 7 AI scams fooling thousands of Americans right now, and 5 habits that protect you from nearly all of them at once. The technology behind these scams keeps getting better, but so does your ability to spot the pattern once you know what to look for. If this opened your eyes to something you didn't know was possible, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me which one of these surprised you the most. Share this with the people in your life who need to hear it. Your parents, your kids, anyone who could be one convincing phone call away from losing everything. Subscribe and turn on notifications because AI scams are evolving faster than almost anything else out there, and I'll be right here breaking down the next one the moment it starts spreading. Stay sharp, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.